The rain hadn't stopped for 3 days when Nathan arrived in Berlin. A freelance designer from Manchester, he had come for solitude and inspiration. The agency had rented him an apartment in an old pre-war building in Kreuzberg. Tall ceilings, creaking floors, and a working elevator that hummed like a dying bee. It was perfect. Apartment 602, 6th floor. The building was oddly shaped, like a squared-off horseshoe. The elevator had a large brass lever instead of buttons. The liftman, yes, an actual liftman, was a man in his late 60s, dressed in a deep red uniform that looked almost too clean for its age. He didn't speak much, only nodded when Nathan arrived. Nathan inserted the large brass key, turned the lock, and stepped into his new life. Chapter 1. A subtle shift. The apartment was bare bones but clean. A massive window faced a cobbled alley. The walls were yellowed with age, and the wooden floors echoed slightly with every step. Nathan liked it immediately. The first night was uneventful, save for a distant tapping sound above him around 2 a.m. Measured and slow, like someone walking barefoot across floorboards. He assumed someone lived above. The next morning, he asked the liftman while descending, "Who's in 702? The man gave a slow blink. "There is no 702. The building has 6 floors. You're at the top," Nathan laughed. "I heard walking. Probably echoes from another apartment." The liftman didn't respond. Chapter 2. The half floor. On the 4th night, the elevator didn't stop at 6. Nathan had been returning from a late-night grocery run. He watched the old dial slowly rotate past 5, then 6, then halfway between 6 and 7. The lift shuddered, dinged, and stopped. There was a door, narrow, dark green paint peeling. No number. The liftman turned his head toward Nathan. "Don't get out unless invited." Nathan chuckled nervously. "You're kidding." The lift moved again without another word. Back in his apartment, Nathan tried to sleep. But that night, the footsteps returned. Only now they stopped directly above him. Chapter 3. The letter. A week into his stay, Nathan found an envelope slid under his door, white, unmarked. Inside was a single typed line. "Your true apartment is on floor 6.5. You have permission to knock." Nathan stared at the paper, unease curling in his stomach like rot. He returned to the elevator. No liftman tonight, just the lever. He pulled it. The dial passed 6 and stopped again, at that impossible middle. The door opened. Chapter 4. The door. The hallway was narrow and dimly lit, lined with dusty mirrors. A low hum filled the air, like a refrigerator running in the distance. At the end of the corridor was a single black door with a brass knocker. Nathan lifted it. Knock, knock. He waited. The door creaked open a few inches. "Hello?" Nathan called. No reply. Inside, the room was a perfect mirror of his own apartment. Same layout, same furniture, but bathed in a cold, bluish tint. Like a photo negative of his home, he stepped inside. Chapter 5. The Other Nathan. There was someone sitting in the chair. A man. Nathan's heart stopped. The man had his back to him. He stood slowly and turned. It was Nathan, but not quite. The hair was a little neater, the smile slightly too wide, the eyes empty. "I've been waiting," said the other. Nathan ran. Chapter 6. Echoes. Back in his real apartment, Nathan convinced himself it was stress. Jet lag, isolation, but the envelope returned the next night. "Don't ignore your invitation. You're already part of us." He burned it, but the smoke smelled like ink and mildew. And when he tried to sleep, he heard whispers in the ventilation. "He's still pretending. Make him remember. Soon." Chapter 7. The Photographs. Nathan checked his phone. All his selfies looked slightly off, his pupils too large, his face mirrored. He took out his camera and photographed the apartment. When he looked back at the photos, the mirrors in them showed people not in the room. He looked again at the apartment. Empty. He looked at the photos again. A figure now stood in the corner behind him. Chapter 8. Room 6.5 returns. He tried to leave the building. The lobby had no exit. The windows showed an endless hallway outside, leading back into the building. The elevator doors opened, uncalled. He stepped in. No buttons, just the lever, already pointing to the half. Chapter 9. Becoming. Nathan entered the mirrored apartment again. The other Nathan was cooking. "I used to be like you," he said, smiling, confused, alone. "But it's better now." "Better? We don't need to be different. There's only one of us." Nathan backed away, but the door was gone. Chapter 10. Acceptance. He woke up, or thought he did. Same apartment. But the window now faced a black sky with no stars. The clocks didn't tick. The floor was damp. He opened the closet. His own corpse lay inside. Chapter 11. The liftman speaks. Nathan found the liftman waiting in the hall. "Why me?" Nathan asked. "Because you listened," said the liftman. "Most ignore the floor. You noticed." "Can I leave?" "You already did," he replied. "You just left something behind." Chapter 12. One of many. Now Nathan lives on floor 6.5. Sometimes he knocks on doors for others. Sometimes they answer. And in a city like Berlin, no one questions an extra door, or a missing tenant, or a mirrored photo, because the building is always hungry. The end.